Hello, it's Kerbinot here, and today I have to make a confession to you. Um, Last time on Legend of Kethane, we only managed to get that orbital base into, orbit around the moon. And I actually made another episode, and it was all going fine until I stopped recording it, at which point I realized that the audio was all messed up, and I just kind of decided that it was really rubbish without my commentary on it. So I was thinking of doing maybe post commentary on it, but then yeah, I didn't. So I've decided instead of trying to redo that one, which will probably not be as hilarious and funny, because that one that you didn't see was obviously the most hilarious thing ever. It was the most informative, the most hilarious. It was basically the best video you will have ever seen in the entire universe. But you know, it didn't have audio, so yeah, so you can't see that, unfortunately. But I'll give you a brief overview of what we did. Well, we didn't really do that much. What happened was I launched this thing into orbit with a relatively annoyingly large lifter or something. I can't remember how big the lifter was actually, but I launched this into orbit and then got it here, and it's got some radio-mounted tanks, and we almost ran out of fuel, and we've got some things on it, so we drew fuel from this, and then this thing's all topped up again. Okay, well, we named it the Boiled Cream Parlour, because the whole thing was they were quite cold out on the moon, so we had to send them some beverages and stuff. So instead of sending them ice cream parlour, we decided to send them a boiled cream parlour because it was really cold. So yeah, this is the Boiled Cream Parlour, everyone. That ship that you didn't see how it got here, well, I got it here, and it was a pain in the butt to get here. Oh, I think actually what I did as well, now come to mention it, what I may have done is I may have also put a fuel tank on the orbital moon base. Let's have a look. I think I might have put, yeah, that's right. Right, time to flash to a quick preview, or a quick kind of fast-forwarded look at what happened to do with this fuel tanker on the tug, because I remember getting that. I know I still have that, but the other stuff I don't have. So, you can have a look at that right now. Okay, hi, post-commentary, me here. So, yeah, we decided to go to the moon with this tanker, and we set up our node and got it relatively aligned, and then we obviously did the node and got into a lunar orbit, and yeah, we kind of circularized. Upon circularizing, we decided to drop. Well, we obviously docked with this thing first because that was our main priority. I wanted to send this thing out so that we could dock with it and bring it back to the station, because if you remember correctly, we didn't have any fuel on it before, and certainly not enough RCS to get it into the same orientation as before. So what we do is we drop the periaps into the moon, and then we disconnect this so that it will crash into the moon, leaving no debris. We then activate these engines, check the liquid fuel, and we drive away, or well, we fly away really. We propel ourselves away from this dying tanker, and we then raise our apoaps. You can see I'm just raising my periaps up, and to a reasonable altitude, so that we can then begin our inclination change. Now, obviously we're going in the complete opposite direction, so what I had to do was I had to turn on MechJeb for this, and I put it, if you see to the left there, I've got it on NML plus, and what that does is it puts it to your inclination exactly, so that you can make very fuel efficient burns if you're changing inclination, and I figured that would be quite good for doing it over this extended period of time. So I used that, and that allowed me to get into the right inclination. So I just went all the way around. Now you can see this is very bright. That's because it was quite dark in the video itself. I just kind of made it look a lot nicer by brightening it up, and I mean, I'm sorry for all the MechJeb stuff, but you can see here we're using MechJeb and all that to the extreme. RCS gone wild, and but we do dock, and we transfer a whole bunch of fuel around. But I decide it does not look nice, and this station, it has to look nice. So what I do is I slip that tug out, and I bring it back around, and I put the tanker back, of course, and I bring the tug back around, and I start docking it onto the end. And I do that rather successfully. I dock onto the end, and there we go, we're done. But this is quite bright, so what I decided to do was I decided to give you a wee show of what it looks like at the end of this, just so you know where I'm starting off from. So you can see we've got the two tankers there, one from beforehand, and one from what we've just brought. So we've got two fuel tanks now, and this one's completely empty, so we're going to have to make a run back to Kerbin to fill this one up. So I suggest we do that right now. Is this tank fuel? Fuel. Yes. A whole bunch of fuel transferring later. Okay guys, well we're in a 95 kilometer orbit, and it's pretty stable, it's pretty circular, so you can see here we've got a 94 and 95, so it's pretty sound orbit. We're now going to skip back down to our space center, and we're going to, well, what we're going to do, we're going to send up a fuel tanker, I think we're going to send up a fuel tanker, and then we'll send up a lander after that, so the fuel tanker will work. Okay guys, well we are in orbit with our fuel module, and I'm just gonna kind of get into a phasing orbit here with this thing. I need to go in a lower orbit, so I'm gonna hop around to the retrograde marker and burn sometime later. Well guys, we're docked, yay! Woohoo, we've docked! Okay, now to kind of undock and stuff. Let's put some fuel in here then. And we can just deorbit this thing with this RCS. Alright guys, well I've just docked the second one, and it took me a bit of time because I forgot, I kind of modified the thing, and I took out that decoupler. What that really just meant was, I realised I had too much fuel, I had way too much, so I figured I could just dock that onto there and use the fuel. And I did, and it took a while to dock because I forgot to move these RCS ports back, so I had this really weird annoying thing where I couldn't manoeuvre correctly, but I got there in the end. But I still have extra fuel in here. After topping up everything I have over here, I still have too much fuel. But I figure what I'll do is I'll take the lander up, and if the lander has still got tons of fuel in it, and it doesn't need this extra fuel, we can tug this thing all the way back to the moon as well. It'll just be quite handy, having another fuel carrier, and it's got an engine on it, so that might come in useful. Even though these RCS ports are a pain, it'll be okay. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. So, yeah, let's get this lander up here then. Okay guys, well we have created this thing, and we've stuck it to the top of a rocket, and now we're going to launch it up, and I think we will probably end up using some of the fuel in this, but that is absolutely fine. I'm okay with that. I put a kind of a small big engine, if that makes any sense. One of the wee ones in there, and that is going to just help with taking off with the large payloads and stuff. And instead of sticking a big, clumpy RCS thing, I just stuck them on top of here because I figured it's just out of the way, makes it nicer. Right, okay, let's launch this thing. I'll see you when I'm pretty close to it. Okay guys, well there we go, we've kind of done it. If I turn that off, this thing has a weird tendency to spin, I think. You can see we've got quite a lot of stuff here. I did use some fuel, so we're just gonna pump that back in, but for the most part I think we didn't use anything. I think we've got enough to drag this thing back, really. So should we do that? Do you think we should do that now? I think we should. So we're gonna deactivate all the engines that don't matter. But yeah, okay, so we now have to tug all of this back to the moon. The joys of that. I'm just thinking whether or not I should turn stuff around, but I know that that's fine. So we're just pushing all of this, and honestly, I think we'll be fine with that. So as long as we've got only our engines there firing, and not that one, and not this one, yeah, then we'll be fine. So let's set ourselves up for a moon encounter. Right guys, so we are in a phasing orbit right now, meaning that it's catching up with us. Yay! Yeah, I'm in orbit around the moon, got there fine, it was all fine. Took me a bit longer than I thought it would. Had to mess around with some orbital things, like I ended up going clockwise around the moon as opposed to anti-clockwise, so I messed around with that. Didn't take too much delta V, but did it in the end. It turns out that if you just look here, I have emptied all the fuel out of this by burning, so yeah. Burn, baby, burn! Yeah, I'm so hilarious. Not really. Yeah, so I'm just waiting for this. I'm thinking that perhaps upon this, I think it's going to jump over too far on this one. Yeah, that's way too far. So we're going to go retrograde now. And we're going to let it do its thing. And then we're going to bring our apoaps down so that when we do get this encounter, it's going to be nice and normal and very close and everything. Alright guys, well we are within 300, well 400 meters of the orbital moon base, and what I've decided to do is just not try and dock all of it at once, because that's insane and will not work, but what we're going to do is we're going to undock this, dock this to it, and then come back with the space tug and dock this. In fact, what I might do instead is just dock this to it first, then that, and then so on and so forth. But we just need to kind of lighten the load here a bit. So if I say, oh, whoops, what have I done? What have I done? No, no, that's not what I want either. Oh, no, RCS and back. Bring me away. Off, kill that. Right, okay. Right, go to the target. And this will allow me to dock and kind of do stuff without too much hassle. Guess what, guys? I found a moon arch. Found a moon arch. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, found a moon arch. Woo! I'm a freaking genius. Yeah. I ended up accidentally doing the wrong thing and getting really, really low. So yeah, I thought I didn't enjoy the view. This is the last thing we have to dock to this craft up here, and you can see we've got ourselves a nice wee intersect there. So yes, this is good. Yeah, we're using way too much of this fuel. It's ridiculous. I mean, we went there hoping to get more fuel back, and we've spent about half of that liquid fuel that we brought with us. It's ridiculous. Right, okay, let's go to target now. I might have to somehow move this base up in the lunar atmosphere. Well, not atmosphere, just kind of, whatever it's called, 10 and 8. You see how that's very, very dodgy? I've just kind of realised how close we are to the ground, and I'm kind of worried now after experiencing that kind of very low flying thing going on there. I'm kind of worried that my entire base is just going to hit the ground, and yeah, that would be good. Here we go, guys, the final docking, Yes, that's right, you heard me. It is indeed the final docking for the third time. That's me saying that. Right. After this, that's all our docking done. That's us. We're done. We've done docking. We've, like, very, very nicely kind of docked a lot of things together, because that's how we roll. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, here we go. Final docking. And ta-ra! Haha, there we go. And our kind of moon base is looking a bit weird, but in fact I didn't really I didn't really think this through, did I? It does look a bit weird, doesn't it? Looks a wee bit weird. Yes. We're gonna need some solar panels on this. We're gonna need to put some solar panels on it. But apart from that, we're all good. We should be fine. 10,000, 11,000, 12,000, and we're jumping off of targets, so that will do fine. It's a bit of a weird orbit, actually. But, 13 and... Ooh, actually! 13 and... Wow! Wow! I'm impressed. I'm impressed. Wow. I should stop kind of repeating myself, shouldn't I? Well, okay, so we've done that. What else now? Is there anything we need to do in this episode apart from dock a whole crap ton of stuff together? We're gonna land this now, so we're gonna undock, and we're going to switch to that, and just get out of there. Oh, in fact, actually, no. To be able to dock again, we need... Wait, actually, no, we don't. Okay. Changing my mind. Okay, right. Right, guys, we're here, finally. I mean, it's not that long for you, but it took me absolute yonks to get here. So, I believe it's time for our guys to get out and do their job. So, do what we paid you to do. Oi, Jeb, get out of there. You're supposed to be doing work. Bad boy. Bad boy Jeb, not doing his work. Right, okay. Come on, Jeb. You got some friends over. I know you've been sitting here for a few years, but, you know, you got some mates, so I would advise saying hi to them, as well as doing your job. Grab! No, darn it. Okay, no, darn it. Right. Well, I seem to have hit off a few solar panels. Well, that was not a good idea. Right, okay, second time lucky. You know what they say, second time lucky. It's all, they always say that. Come on, grab. Okay, grab. No, grab. There we go. Yes! I did it! Right, come on, Mr. Kerman. I think they're all just Mr. Kerman. Connect. Okay. We've got it. We have got it. It's okay. It's all good. Now we have to get it to here. Yes! Okay, we've done it. We have done it. Yes! Woohoo! Well, let's hope to the heavens above that we have enough monopropellant to get back, because I don't think this thing can transfer monopropellant. Well, folks, that is all from me. We have managed to land on the moon next to these guys. We've managed to tug a whole ton of stuff back, and hopefully in the next episode we'll get round to doing some rubbish collecting, getting rid of all that debris floating around, and then after that we are going to try and make it for another planet to try and get out there. We know that we can get to Minimus, so we might try to get to Minimus, but I plan on using a gravity assist by the moon to get into a orbit around Kerbal, that's the sun, and then we're going to try and get to a planet. I'm not going to say which planet just yet. You can find that out next time. So join me next time when we, well, not next time, but the time after that. Just, yeah, it'll be fine. I'll get there eventually. Right. But as for now, that's all. Goodbye. I will see you guys later.